Today I'm gonna share with you my Bulgarian Easter leg of lamb recipe. It is a New Zealand lamb, but it's a Bulgarian Easter recipe. And I'm gonna start with the spread. For the spread you're going to need 2 sticks of soft butter. For the spread of my leg of lamb I'm gonna use the 2 sticks of butter, about that much, that it's I would say about 2 tablespoons of dried mint, and I'm also gonna need some dried savory, some black pepper, some thyme, and some sea salt. So I am going to mix everything together. So I'll put in the dry mint, and then I'm gonna put about the same amount of dried savory, black pepper to taste, which would be about 1 teaspoon, and then some dried thyme leaves, also about 1 teaspoon, maybe a little more, and about a tablespoon of sea salt. Alright, and then I'm just gonna mix everything together. And here is what the spread for the lamb looks like. And also, in addition to that, you will need a few bay leaves and some scallions or green onions. And this is how I'm gonna chop the onions. Something like that. It doesn't have to be too fine because it's gonna cook for a long time. And then the green part, it's kind of slicing it sideways a little bit, so it looks more fun. So I chopped all the onions. Gonna mix them up a little bit, and the next step it's gonna be seasoning the meat, and that is a very fun part. I love lamb. It's a very traditional dish to have in Bulgaria on Easter, so hopefully it turns out well. This is the leg I purchased from the store. It is 6 pounds, which is about 2.7 kilos if you want to convert the metrics. And I am going to start by flipping it over. Here I have my spread. I'm gonna apply it, and I don't need too much on the bottom, just a little bit, because then whatever I put on the top, it is going to drip down to the bottom. I'm gonna flip it over and do the top. And for the top, I'm gonna make a few cuts in the meat. And you have to do the cuts against the direction of the muscle of the meat. So like that, like that, like that. Another one over here, a few more over here. And I am going to start filling them up. Alright. I filled up all the crevices, and now the rest of the spread, I'm just gonna top it on the top of the meat, just as such. Just cover it completely. Because this is a leg of lamb that doesn't have the skin, I chose the one because the other one, the skin looked a little too fatty. That's why I'm using so much butter. But if you buy one that has the skin, I wouldn't recommend using that much butter. Maybe only half a stick to put in the crevices. I'm gonna place about 3 or 4 bay leaves on the top. Arrange the potatoes around it, just sliced in half, because it is gonna bake for a long time. So that's gonna cook the potatoes. You don't need to worry about the potatoes not being cooked. And here I have 16 medium-sized potatoes. And next I'm gonna arrange all the scallions or onions, green onions, around it. Now I have extra scallions in the refrigerator for a salad. If you don't, I would recommend leave about a handful for decoration for later. And lastly, we're going to add some more sea salt. And this is, I would say, maybe the equivalent of 1 tablespoon. Alright, that's plenty. So I would say about 1 tablespoon. And for the baking, for the first part of the baking, I am going to completely cover the pan with aluminum foil. And just make sure it's tight on all sides because it has to steam inside. And normally, before you completely close it, you add about 250 milliliters, or that would be 1 cup of water. Alright, and now we can seal it up and bake it. And at this point you should have your oven preheated to 360 degrees Fahrenheit, or that would be 180 degrees Celsius. So the meat is been baking for 3 hours, and now I'm gonna uncover it and bake it for another 15 minutes uncovered. And be careful, because it is gonna be hot and steamy. As you can see, the steam is starting to come out now. Wow, that looks awesome. Alright, now I'm gonna pop it back in the oven for another 15 minutes. And now you can see how nice and tender the meat is, I hope. Oh yes. Oh yes, it is. It is nice and tender, almost falling off the bone. There you go. And here is a closer shot. Very well done. And this is what the meat looks on the inside. Perfectly done. And now we're gonna dish up. And dish up some of the potatoes and onions as well. And garnish the lamb with some parsley and some scallions, and the potatoes with a little bit of dill. I hope you enjoyed my Easter leg of lamb recipe, and if you did, please give this video the thumbs up. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Bye.